For those of you who are familiar with my channel, you would understand that hiss and growl. Today, we're going to do the pet parade for springtime. We're going to do her first because honestly, she just gets crankier by the minute. So, for those of you new to the channel, hey, settle down. This is Crystal. She is 15 years old. She's part Siamese. She responds to the name Diva. She only loves one person in the family and she tolerates the rest of us. And as you can tell, I'm not the one she loves. Go back to your human. I know, you're being viciously mistreated. Okay, the next one is Ellie. Ellie is one of our more recent rescues. She is somewhere going on 2 by now. She's quite adorable. She's very cute. She doesn't meow as much as chirp, so she just has this tiny little voice. So it's very cute and it's very distinctive, so we know when she has something to say to the world. Okay, down you get, babe. Atticus, come here, little doll. Okay, Atticus was rescued at the same time that Ellie was. Now, Atticus has so many sort of birth defects that honestly, holding him is like holding a bowl of Jell-O. He has kind of a twisted spine and a gimped up tail and a defective foot. But my daughter saw him and fell in love with him because she knew that we could give him a really great home. So Atticus is going to be turning 1 soon, like we're not exactly sure, but sometimes this spring. He's very shy. He's very cute. There you go. Say hi to everybody. And he's, as you can see, he's got quite the beautiful coat on him. It is developing. He's going to be a long hair. His hair is very fine. He sheds it all over the house. And that right there, that's his most favorite position when being held. Bye, Atticus. Go back to the couch. Go in. Go back to your spot. Good boy. I'm going to leave him for last. Come here, Skittles. Skittles and his sister are 12. He is often the one that you hear barking and yapping in the background. He thinks he's very ferocious, but he's not. We don't tell him that. Do you want to say hi? Okay, thank you, Skittles. Oops, his sister Tika. Now, she is the yappy one, and she is the bossy one, and she was the runt of the family, so go figure. Or the runt of the litter. So, yeah, this is Tika. Her and her brother are very, very attached. They're very, very close to each other. They sort of have their own tribe, and, you know, the rest of us circle around it. Yeah, I know. And I often say they share one brain cell. They're sweet, they're adorable, but that brilliant poodle brain seems to have escaped these particular 2. But we absolutely love them nonetheless, and when people aren't feeling good, the 2 dogs are the ones who take care of them the most. Okay, down you get. And here he comes. Come here, rock star. Oh, and here's Jerry the rock star. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Jerry is also a 3-legged rescue. He is part Maine Coon. We think he's somewhere around 5. We're not sure. He rules the roost here. He just knows that he's the bestest and the cutest and the most amazing. He also has a lovely, lovely long coat. And he's actually the skinniest. Believe it or not, he is actually the skinniest animal in our house. He just has this incredibly magnificent coat. Okay, say bye, Jerry. Okay, there you go, people. There is the pet parade. So I am wishing all of you a very, very happy Easter, happy Passover, happy spring. You know, it's been kind of a tough winter, and it's been certainly a very difficult last 3, 4, 5 weeks, depending, of course, where you are. I don't know what to wish people on the southern part of the hemisphere. I don't know if it's like happy fall or what I'm supposed to say to you, but I'm kind of thinking that there must be a lot of harvesting going on down there as you're completing summer. So I wish you a bountiful harvest. And I also hope that your forests start to recover as amiquolas. They're so cute. Okay, I digress. All right, so it's been kind of hard lately. And there's been a lot of talk about, sorry, I'm just one massive hair here. There's been a lot of talk about, karma. And there's been talk about, it's not fair that people are dying and why do they have to? And so there's just a couple little things I want to sort of clarify, and then I'm going to move straight on to a message from Spirit. I'm not going to do the cards today. It's going to be more of a message of hope from Spirit for the coming weeks and months. So again, karma is the effect of a cause, the effect of a happening or an incident. And it's neither good nor bad. It is simply an opportunity for us to perhaps, in some ways, take rewards from past events, circumstances, activities, where we have brought good and light. And it is an opportunity for us to perhaps correct past behaviors that perhaps have brought lower vibrational energy. Karma is work. It's created based on how other people respond or react. It is based on how much harm or love that you give someone. That's sort of how the scales are balanced. So there's been a little bit of talk lately about, it's just not fair that we come here and we have to deal with this karma, and we don't even know why we're here or what we're dealing with. Well, that's as it's supposed to be. Because don't forget, a life is about the evolution of a soul. It's not about your personal personality. It's about your soul. And while you consciously and unconsciously do not remember what your karma is, and in fact, for the most part, we don't even have real clarity on life lessons. Your soul knows. That's how come very often that intuition will often pipe up and start talking when you're sort of heading off in a wrong direction, or frankly, when you're doing something or behaving in a way where your highest truth knows that isn't your best response to a situation. So I think that given currently what's going on, I suspect that a percentage of people with their passing are in fact atoning for some sort of a karmic incident or situation from the past. I also believe that a greater percentage of them are simply choosing this time to simply complete their life cycle this time and return home. And there is a large percentage of people who are here, who have willingly chosen to be here to experience this because their passing is going to help. And in fact, their illness is going to help medical professionals and scientists understand the virus, understand what we are dealing with here. So, because again, at a soul level, you understand that the soul cannot be destroyed. And so, very often, it is just simply a decision of, yeah, you know what, I can do that. I can make that sacrifice for the greater good. And a lot of light workers and angel workers are here because they are committed to trying to raise the vibration of the planet, of the earth, of the civilization that we are at this particular time, because that really is the fight we're in right now. That is what is going on. The civilizations on earth have been destroyed several times before, and this is sort of another opportunity for us as citizens of the globe to kind of get it right and try not to destroy the planet. So that's a couple of things, right? Part of that is caring for Mother Earth and dealing with the pollution and all of that that goes on simply because we have become so industrialized. But more than that, it really is a fight for the soul. It is a fight to help people realign and move into a time and place and space where it is much more about spirit. It is much more about the fulfillment of the soul's journey. And it is about having the place to have that experience. So, yeah, so that's it. So I am going to, once again, I just thought that, it has been such a difficult time lately, and it would be really nice to know where we're heading. Where does this take us? And so that is my question for Spirit. So just give me a second and I am going to connect with Spirit. And then we're going to find out what it is that Spirit would like us to know in terms of this time, this space, and the events that we are living through, going through. In the all of civilization, this is a historic moment. It is going to be studied for eons going forward. And so, what are we doing here? What's the purpose and where do we end up? Let's take a look. Again, we are really delighted to have the opportunity to share some insights and guidance and understanding with those who are here and ready to listen. Those who are ready to hear will hear. As has been stated, the planet has gone through many civilizations before and they were destroyed. It always came down to, in your terminology, sort of good versus evil. And unfortunately, in times past, the lower vibrations won. So this time, as the civilization was again moving towards a brink, there were many who decided to willingly come to the earth. And while they were certainly taking care of some of their own issues and having their own experiences of growth, they had a larger commitment or a larger soul print, if you will. And that was to be in place to help the earth make a more light-filled transition. Now, this process started early in what you would term like the 1900s, when people started to come to the planet. They were born sort of in the, I want to say, 20s, 30s. They were the spirits that came into place to bring forth what you term as the hippies. They were the ones who planted the seeds for which the flowers now grow. They played a very fundamental role because they planted the idea of, loving one another and peace and harmony and in many ways sort of living without a lot of the trappings of your world. That was their message and purpose. Ultimately, they then gave birth to the next generation. And that ushered in the indigos. That was then followed by the crystals and the rainbows. And all of these different generations have had a very, very specific role to play. The crystal children are the ones who are going to think outside the box. They are now some as young as 5 and 10, some as certainly as old as 25 or 30. The range is fairly flexible. They are the ones who are going to think outside the box. They are the ones who are going to be able to start setting your earth to correction. They're going to be able to figure out how to reverse the damage and sort of set new normals. The rainbows are the ones of pure love, and they are going to usher in the lighter and brighter feelings. For the most part, light workers and angel workers and indigos are in place to look at things clearly through clear eyes, to start to recognize the shifting vibrations of the planet. Many, many of you are aware that there has been a vibrational shift that has been coming for a very long time. And it is now at the beginning of its beginning. It is an interesting thing that the inhabitants of the earth, certainly in this civilization, really have sort of a aggressive energy to them. And so there doesn't seem to be satisfaction for things moving slowly, as very often they must. There really is an energy of war and revolution and dramatic and sudden change. And in part, it was that very energy that allowed the current virus you're dealing with to actually escalate so quickly, because there is such a desire upon the earth for things to change fast and move fast. What you need to understand is that sometimes in haste, things are destroyed that should not be. And indeed, this was one of the lessons of a previous civilization. And so you are all going to have to just slow down a little bit and understand that the vibrational change is not going to happen in a week or a day, a month, and possibly not a year, but it has started. And between now and 3 and 4 and 5 years from now, where you live, how you live, what you deem important is going to be so dramatically different should you follow the light, that the vibrational shift, you will have great clarity and understanding of why it needs to move at a slightly slower pace in your terms. But do understand, it is actually moving very, very quickly. It is only because you are immersed in this time and space that you don't have the benefit of seeing actually how quickly the shift and the vibrational uplift is taking place. You all have a fundamental and important role to play in this. It is your energy, it is your light, your compassion, your empathy that are going to work towards not only lifting the vibration of a planet and lifting the vibration of a civilization, but you are also going to be lifting the vibration of individuals. One by one, people are going to be healed and ready to move forward. The healing is not a physical healing, it is a spiritual healing. It is a spiritual growth. That is what it is trying to be achieved. That is what your goal is here upon this planet at this point in time. There are many, many galaxies and indeed universes far beyond you that are far more advanced. They have learned the lesson. Your planet is a fairly young one and fairly young with experiences. And there are others in other universes that are even younger than you are. So in some ways, you need to view it as a rolling sort of evolution. You will make it. As long as the energy continues to be focused on the positive, on love, on understanding, on empathy, the vibrational shift has a much greater chance, a far better chance of actually being actualized than it has in any other time upon this planet. You ask yourself, why are there so many people who are psychic, who are intuitive, who have these extra gifts as you perceive them? Why are there so many empathic people on the earth who frankly suffer a great deal because the vibration and the energy that they absorb on a continual basis is very difficult for their denser, more earthbound bodies to be able to process and absorb? But why are they all here? They're all here for the ultimate purpose of creating a civilization that actually succeeds, that moves into the light, that becomes more united, that understands there are no borders, there are not different races and different religions. It is simply a different experience. Ultimately, all is one. And all is one, whether you live upon the earth, you live in another universe, or you live on this side of the veil. We all come from that single source. And it is understanding and coming to understand that it is the unity that holds the civilization and the planet together. It is not the abundance of possessions. It is not greed. It is not having the most. It is about the spirit of generosity, of giving, of love, of compassion. And that is where the civilization is moving towards. And we on this side of the veil are very honored to be with you and to assist you as you move through this transition. This pandemic is hitting the entire globe. Some countries are going to be hit harder than others. Sometimes it is about a population. Sometimes it is about an attitude or a mindset. But for every country, there are lessons to be learned. There are wisdoms to be granted. And that truly is where the focus needs to be. Understand clearly if you are here, if you are hearing this message, if you are inspired to share this message with someone specific, it is because it is the right time and place for you to hear the message. We have said before and we say again, the current environment is a call to action. It is not a call to revolution. It is not a call to war. It is a call to action within the highest light. It is about connecting to the divine within you, growing it, expanding it, and then sharing it outward. So those who are in a deeper or darker space are being given a hand up. They are being lifted by those of you who currently vibrate at a higher level and will continue to achieve new and new levels of vibration. You are going to see spirit light groups, social groups, psychic groups coming together and working in unity with each other. The competition is dissipating, just as the competition between countries is dissipating as you are starting to, with clarity, finally understand that your globe has no borders. You are all on one planet, and you must all live and work and thrive together. The lower vibrations will never be eradicated, but they will be diminished. And that is what is going to propel this incredible lift of vibration. Do not expect it to be some sort of an ascension. It is not an ascension. It comes from the ground up, and it simply lifts the entire vibration of the people and the places on the planet up to a level where they are more connected to love. They are more connected to the divine. They reject that which is harmful and hurtful, be that to the planet, to animals, and to other people. There is going to be a shift to kindness and understanding, because again comes the final clarity that you are all one. That is the vibrational shift and change that has been coming for more than 100 of your years. And that is the vibrational shift and change that is going to continue for the next 100 years and the ones after and after. We also would just like to take a moment to congratulate those of you who work in the light. It is hard work. And we know you are becoming tired and exhausted and fatigued. We know it is hard to stay positive and hopeful. But as you are learning, you feel the emotions, you acknowledge them, you do not get trapped in them, and then you move forward into the more positive energies. You are doing an amazingly fabulous job. Keep up the good work. But do not ever forget to replenish yourself, because an empty vessel can pour nothing. We also would like for you to start thinking and realizing that there is no returning to normal. It is a new normal that must be created. It is a new normal of light and love and understanding. If you want to go back to the old normal, understand the old normal is why we are here today. That is where that normal brought you. Embrace the new. You've been so longing for this vibrational shift. Understand you are the pioneers of it. You are the ones who will create the generations coming forward, coming in your future. You are going to be the grandparents, the parents, the aunts and uncles of the next generations. And the very youngest ones, in time, they too will be the grandchildren, the parents, the aunts and uncles, forever and ever. Continue your work. Know that it is having a profound effect. The time of isolation which you are now enduring has been created to give you the opportunity for quiet reflection, the opportunity to fill yourselves with light and bring hope and abundance of love into your world. It is about knowing that you have all the abundance you need simply for asking. The change is your ideas about what abundance is are in for a dramatic shift. Your ideas about what is successful is in for a dramatic shift. Your ideas about what people have more value than others, which is a ridiculous concept, as we are all one, that also is going to shift and change as you come to realize that those who stand in the light and those who share the light, those are the ones who are doing the work of the light. We hope that you have found this helpful. We hope that the guidance has reassured you. These are indeed difficult times, but they are the beginning of that vibrational shift that your souls and your planet has cried for many, many long periods of time. You are light-filled. Never, ever forget that. This is all. Okay. So in these difficult times, it's sort of nice to be able to get a wee little bit of a blueprint, kind of a little bit of an understanding of what literally the soul print of the planet, the civilization is, that which we are hoping to achieve in this experience. I think that should be heartwarming and encouraging to many, many out there, and I certainly hope it is. I wish all of you a really lovely weekend. Again, you need to be physically separate, but do what you can to stay emotionally connected to those you love and care about. And I also think that this is a terrific time to stay connected to your own light. For those of you who are interested in a private reading, the information is in that box below, and I am currently booking sort of the last 2 or so weeks of April. The Sunday Positive Energy Circle will be released on Easter Sunday, and it is going to be it's going to be a circle based on drawing forward exactly those positive energies and higher vibrations that we have all just received that message about. So maybe tick that on your calendar, and I will look forward to seeing you there. Until next time, take care, be well, stay safe, and enjoy the weekend. Bye-bye.